Hello once again, everybody. My name is Hoppa or Josh, and today is day, I want to say, 35 of the countdown to Divination. Yesterday I skipped day 34, primarily because I was lazy and I was caught up watching some videos, and then before you know it, it's just like, hey, it's 2 a.m. So yeah, that happened. That's all on me, really. I probably should have made one just at the last second, but I figured you guys wouldn't want to watch just something where it's like, hey, I'm sorry for missing it, I didn't do anything, blah, goodbye, kind of thing. Like a 40-minute or a 40-second clip like that. I don't think you guys would have wanted that. But, nevertheless, we have some things to talk about, at least for today. So, we're about 35 days in, which means I expect Divination to be coming out in about 10 days. Something like that seems rational. But they haven't really confirmed whether or not Death of Chivalry will be coming out first. But I think the general consensus is that we'll be seeing the Death of Chivalry in about 2 days. So, that said, we're getting right down to the wire, and sadly you can see not much progress has been made, really. Since 2 days ago I haven't gotten a level. That's just how it is. However, tonight is going to be the night where we're going to go really all out, and try to get a few levels at least to redeem ourselves a little bit here. So let's look at our tasks that we have. We have a RuneSpan one, so we'll be doing that. And we have a Jadinka one, so we'll be doing that as well. We need to at least do the RuneSpan one, so that way we can get these guys to roll out, so I can get a new better tasks for us. So, that said, there will also be warbands in, I don't know how long, probably about 4 hours from now. So that's good. I'll probably end up getting 97 construction tonight, and that'll be nice. So we'll get 97 construction. We're gonna aim for 93 rune crafting. We're gonna aim for 96 thieving. So those are our 3 levels. We need to get 3 tonight to be back on track. So our work's cut out for us, but I think we can make it all work. Also, we have to do this Lumbridge thing, so I'm gonna go do that in a second here. But yeah, so I don't know if any of you have already checked it out, but there's an above the lore episode out. If you guys want to check that out, I highly suggest it. It has everything to do with divination, and there's a little bit that has to do with the second skill that they're going to be releasing probably early next year. So, with that in mind, I'll tell you guys a little bit about it after I do the Battle of Lumbridge stuff. So let's teleport to the Duke. Yes. And we'll see. So, I wonder what won last time. So let's see. Previously, oh shit, well they got the white knights there. That kind of sucks. So far people have decided to restore and refuge both families into one house, and then they recruited more guardsmen, which costs more money. Way to go, guys. And then we asked for politically neutral people in Verak, which is okay. Actually, we didn't select that. We selected the one in green, I think. So, we don't really have much gold left, guys. We should start kind of thinking about that. It seems that, at least between these 2 weeks, we decided to do so. And, saved a little bit there. So let's figure out what we can do. So the problem is our guardsmen are not currently up to the task of facing knights and beasts if they leave the battlefield. So, what can we do? What can we do? Why would do both? Oh, do both of those. So that would help. Let's give them training, because why not? Actually, yeah, we'll train them. We'll train them. I'll go for that. And I'll claim my XP in the usual rune crafting. And there's 26k XP right there. So, again, it's about 10 o'clock at night. It's my fault for this being so late. I was kind of intending to get a level before this, but in the end, you know, you just gotta cut your losses and actually go for it. Anyways, so now that we got that done, let's get into what the podcast kind of revealed for Divination. So the first thing that I wrote down is that Divination won't be a resource gathering skill where you have to compete for resources, similar to like mining. Except mining, actually, you're not competing for resources if you're doing it at the Living Rock Caverns, since those rocks are actually on a timer based on how many people are on the world or something like that. But yeah, so you won't be competing for resources like you do during Hunter, like you do during woodcutting and stuff, so you don't have to worry about someone coming and crashing you at a whatever it is, a spring, I think is what they call it. So that's cool. Another kind of mechanic of Divination is that the spots move around similarly to slow-moving implings, is what they said. So that's pretty interesting in my opinion. Sorry if you heard that. That was paper. Yeah, they move around similar to implings, so they can be probably most anywhere, is what I expect. And they kind of delved into that later on in the podcast, where they said it's more widespread than Hunter, but it's less widespread than woodcutting. But to be fair, woodcutting is just about anywhere. Anywhere there's a tree, you can train woodcutting. So it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, that's not really narrowing it down very much, because Hunter spots, there are select spots on the map where you can train Hunter, but you can't train it elsewhere. So, anyways, once you find these slow-moving implings, you can interact with them, and then they become stationary for a set amount of time, I assume, before they either, number one, die out, or number two, they just decide to start moving again, and you just have to interact with it. I assume that it'll be the first of those where it just dies, and then you have to go look for another one, etc., etc. And to help you with that, later on in the podcast, they revealed that there's going to be a person or an NPC who has a map of where all these I forget what they're calling it, I'll just call it springs, where all these springs are. So that's kind of cool, I think. The idea that just an NPC is like, oh hey, here's just the location of all of them. So that's kind of cool. You can deposit memories, these Gothixian memories, for either more divine energy or XP. You can make things from energy, blah blah blah. They wanted to avoid you having to make useless items throughout the level up, so I assume that each item will have at least some benefit. So that's pretty cool. They want it to be social, that goes along with it being non-competitive. It's not too intricate, so you can actually be like AFKing while you're doing it, which is kind of cool, because Jagex has kind of reversed their stance on AFKing. Because if you guys remember, they wouldn't, like, they strongly discouraged AFKing, and I think even at some point it was reportable, but yeah, they've come a long ways, I think. So they've come from totally non-AFK everything. You must not AFK. If you AFK, then you will be severely punished, to entirely embracing it with RuneSpan and stuff, and then producing a skill that, you know, definitely inspires people to AFK as well. So I think that's kind of cool. They've come a long ways with that. So they said a little attention is required to get like the main bulk of XP. Sorry, I had to take a little pause there because I actually got lobbied. Anyways, so we were talking about the Sign of Life, and they pretty much confirmed that that's going to be a one-time use, and that's good. That it should be a one-time use. Otherwise, it's pretty OP. Other tips that they're giving you for training divination is to make boons, is what they call it. It's supposed to help you gain XP. So yeah, make boons. That's kind of gonna be one of the things you're gonna want. And then finally, they said that there's gonna be no tools required, similar to I don't know. There's no other resource gathering skill like that where you don't need skill, or where you don't need tools. So that's kind of cool. So we should look at the next thing, which is skill number 2, as they call it. They revealed a few things about that. So they said that it works with divine spirits, or the divine shards that you get from divination, and that it is nearly a polar opposite of divination. So there's going to be like factions who support skill number 2, and then factions who support divination, and I think that'll be kind of cool. There's going to be quests related to it, and they revealed that it's going to be story or lore based, or they'd like to make it story or lore based again, which is good. And that's pretty much about it for all of this. So that's a lot of stuff. If you guys want to actually listen to the podcast, it's in the description, so be sure to go check it out. And that's about it, guys. So thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, all that great stuff. And I will see you later on today in some more Terraria. I'm going to try to do some work on the Terraria house build, because for some reason, actually for good reason, the audio got muted for that. So I'm going to try to fix that, maybe use some music that YouTube suggests I use, like some songs that won't get copyright on it. So we'll see. Worst comes to worst, I will re-render it with different music, and you know what, that'll be that. So anyways, be looking forward to that, and that's about it, guys. So I will see you later on today.